Hello, everybody. I'm William Owen, and this is my Sprint 1 update for Atlas, the public think tank. Atlas is a public-facing web app designed to support open collaboration and knowledge sharing. It is a social media platform. And in this video, I'll share what I've accomplished so far and what I've enjoyed and how I'm using tools like GitHub and ChatGPT to stay organized. This past week, I've completed Sprint 1, which focused on the foundational setup. The main goals were to scaffold the ASP.NET Core MVC application and integrate identity for authentication and build out the deployment pipeline using Azure and the GitHub Actions for continuous integration and continuous deployment. So what you're looking at here is the landing page for this GitHub repository. You might see that the latest test says failure, but that's actually because my cloud test here all have test stubs that are going to fail. So I haven't actually written any of the tests. I just want to make sure that I do that soon and follow test-driven development. I separated this into two test projects, one called Cloud Test, and that was the one that GitHub Actions will run. The local test is going to be for test against the database. And I learned that I could do that in a previous quarter, but I wanted to make sure that I still implemented it. So I have a README, which includes the badge of the sprint, an overview that goes to a lot more information in a wiki. And this README, by the way, and all of my GitHub issues and the wiki, they're all the content. I used ChatGPT to help me format. So I would have consistency across all of the GitHub repo content. And I was a fan of using the emojis. So you'll see a bunch of them. And so in this wiki, I have everything you'd see here about this project, all the way about to deployment, some notes I've taken. I have a page that goes over the schema that I'm going to use for this project and all the tables. This, I did have ChatGPT generate pretty much everything because I had a project from our SQL course and it got a little too crazy. So I wanted to scale back and I used ChatGPT to help get me a base starter schema that then I could build off of. And I also created a wiki post for troubleshooting in general. This has a template to use. You don't have to use it. And I put that template in a gist, the GitHub gist. And then you can open and create a new issue from here. And this button, click here to see all troubleshooting issues. This goes to the issues panel and adds this label here, which you can see here in the URL. And I have a label for troubleshooting. So you could use that link and you'll see a bunch of different posts that are about troubleshooting. So to organize the work that I wanted to complete first, I put it into Sprint 1, the first release of a simple site. And at first, the only two issues that were in here were two epics, the user authentication and this DevOps setup. It was just the two of those. And these other ones slowly kind of got introduced, but they, as you can see, most of them are epics. One of them is what I'm doing right now. Right now, as I'm recording, I'm creating this project update for Sprint 1. And but some of these other epics right here, like study and research, I gave it a label called Transient, and it kind of it messes up the percentage right here, but that's okay. This percent, I found out, doesn't really matter to me. But the study and research is going to be an epic that I use sub-issues to just break down a topic. And this epic is just going to come with me along the way to all the other sprints I'm going to move it into. This sprint, though, the sprint troubleshooting, this one can stay with the sprint. And I do hope to get all of the troubleshooting things addressed before moving on to the next sprint. If not, I'm going to carry some of these things over, or somewhere I'm going to make sure that they're an unresolved issue that we need to get. And one of the issues I had was in development. I tracked that issue in this. You probably won't run into this issue, but this had to do with deploying everything the same workflow that you'll see in lectures. My issue with this was I had a connection string that to my database, my connection string had something that looked like this in it. And I found out that it was from my password for my SQL user. And Joe did tell me that I could wrap my password that was here, in quotes or something else to escape that semicolon. But I ended up just changing my password. Well, next I wanted to share with you guys some of the code base and some of the files I've added. One file in the JS, I haven't finished putting it together, but I'm going to put some logic for JavaScript and talking to my server with Ajax into a single file. You'll see on my app that there's color mode or theme support, and this was not a file I wrote. This was something that I copied from the Bootstrap library and dropped it in here. All this stuff was already there. The identity pages, that we added that for this course, and I had to do the extra scaffold to get all the extra pages for this. So initially it just gave me, I think, like 1 or 2 account pages to work with, and I scaffolded out all the rest so I can make any edits necessary. We have the migrations from the identity framework, and I added in another partial here that it gets used on the layout page. So I'll show you what that looks like. So at the moment, this is what the website is looking like. This note here, you can really just ignore this. This is just for me. I don't know why I put it there. But this is an example of someone who is not logged in, and you can see in this hero section that the user is being prompted to register for a new account. But there also is a register and login button up here, even though they kind of look like the same button. But those are going to be also over here because I want people to know to register, or I don't know. I'll figure that all out. But here is that little color picker I was mentioning. I really didn't do any special work to get this done. Like I said, there was one special thing, but I'll show you that. So I have this color mode partial, and here's that drop down you just saw, and then there are those icons that are within the button, and Bootstrap used SVGs to do that, and this was their style of doing it. This use attribute or use tag, and I had never seen that before. But basically, when you see an SVG with a use and an href like that, they're using, you can define another SVG element somewhere else and use the symbols. So this is how they're referring to these shapes as icons and SVGs. And I actually really like this because that was a really clean way to put SVG content here rather than pasting all those in here. And so you need this color mode, that type of content here, and then you also need the JavaScript file to go with it. And this is what sets the cookies. It's not perfect though, because I realized if I am in dark mode and I go to another page, I see this flash. And that means that the theme isn't being set until after the page is loaded. And sure, Bootstrap can do that, but what I need to do is track the cookie that is in my in the browser, and on the server, I need to populate the HTML with the right CSS class. Then when I go to new pages like this, the theme won't flash like it does now. But as far as identity goes, I'm very impressed with all the pages that it sets up. So I can log in now. Oh, and I can do this on production because I pushed to production. So this is my production address on Azure. And you can see it's the same exact thing. That's because I pushed the recent code and it has my password remembered. It does take a little bit longer than I thought it would to do some simple interactions with the database or the server. Not sure why it's taken so long. If it's because I'm on a free tier, I don't know. Oh my gosh. This is the same exact error I got last time, but as you can see, this error is not descriptive at all. So I will show you how I found those logs right now. What I did to find out what that error was is I went to the portal on Azure for the web app, and I was looking at the log stream. Then I just did a search, Control F for find, and then put in the word fail, and was looking for anything that was failing. And this is what I did see, and I was really confused because it said it was connecting, and then an error happened during the login process. So what I did is I just pushed my code again with this publish, And when it came back up, I tried logging in and it worked. So I do not know what was going on, but I did go try to check my connection string within the portal as well. But anyways, I was just going to say that I was impressed with identity for setting up all these pages. They even set up the settings page for your account. Like, I didn't create any of this, which is pretty amazing. And so one of the next things I'll want to do is get this email set up so that the web app can send emails.